Hey, what's up? This is Marcus with Machine City Audio, and in today's video, we are going to be taking a closer look at 3 new effects from Arturia. And you have your Chrous Dimension D, you have the Flanger, and then you have your Phaser. Now, I haven't got around to trying the Phaser yet, but I have tried the Flanger and the Dimension D, and I like the way both of these sound. I think they both sound really great, but I have to say, the one that I was the most excited about is the Chrous Dimension D. I've been waiting so long for somebody else to come out with this plugin. There's only one other company that has this plugin that I know of, and that is Universal Audio. Now, if you don't have their interface, then you're out of luck. You can't use that plugin. So thank you, Arturia, for finally coming out with the Dimension D. Now, there are other chorusing plugins on the market that you can use that sound really great, but none have that character and sound like the Dimension D. It's just something about the Dimension D that you can only get that sound by using it. So for today's video, we're just going to focus on the Dimension D. I'm going to do the Phaser and the Flanger in a different video, but let's just focus on the Dimension D and take a closer look at that today. All right, so there's not too much to go over on the Dimension D, and that's what I like about it. It's a simple box, and it does one job, and it does it well. All right, so let's take a look. We have your mono to stereo button. Then you have your 4 different modes right here. You can actually use 2 different modes at once. So if you want to use 3 and 4, 2 and 4, and so on, you can do it like that. You have your power knob. And of course, with Arturia plugins, you always have like that secret compartment with like the advanced features. Bam, there you go. You have that right here. And you have your different oscillator shapes. And I'll show you what those do in a second. And then you have your dynamic color, and this is going to be for saturation. You have your width, and then you have your dry wet knob. Now, I like the fact that they added a dry wet knob because this allows you to use it in a couple different ways. You can either insert it straight on your instrument track and use it like that and blend it in, or you can use a separate track, have it 100% wet and blend it in like that. All right, so let's take a listen to this instrumental just so you can get an idea what it sounds like, and then we'll go into what the Dimension D is doing. I'm using it on the Rhodes, so let's just solo the Rhodes. And we're going to play the Dimension D. I'm going to play it with the Dimension D on, and then I'll bypass it. All right, so as you can hear, it's definitely adding some space and width to those Rhodes, making them take up more space in the mix, and that's what I wanted for those. So let's take a listen to what the oscillator is going to be doing. It might be a little hard to hear, so let me turn up the mix a little bit, and let's check that out. Let's take a closer look at the dynamic color and see what kind of saturation we can get. I usually keep it on smooth, but it depends on what sound you're going for. Smooth is the most subtle, and as you can see, saturation 2 is going to be like the most extreme. All right, and let's take a listen to a couple different modes that we have up here. All right, so let me put that back to where I had it. I think it goes right there. And let's listen to it in context. So I'll bring everything back in. I'll play it with the Dimension D on, and then I'll take it away. And you'll be able to hear exactly how it sounds. All right, so that's all I got for you today. I just wanted to show you around the Dimension D and just give you a little example of what you can do with it. You can use this in several different ways. You can use it on vocals to give vocals some width. You can use it on instruments. You can use it plenty of ways, all right? So if you have a chance, definitely check these plugins out. I am Marcus with Machine City Audio. Peace, and until next time.